Do we need to notify your next of kin?
Yeah.
Or what do you want? What are some last words?
It was Stu's fault.
Okay.
He killed me.
G'day, Stu here from UAVfutures, and today, well, we're going to be checking out this little bad boy right here. This is the Hummingbird from geprc, and don't let its size fool you. This thing absolutely rips. Now what it is, it's a little 2-inch micro brushless FPV racer, and I really say racer because on the right track, this thing is going to absolutely zip around. Now what we're going to be doing, we're going to be sticking it on the bench, breaking it down, and giving it a quick squiz, sort of looking at its components, and then the fun part, we're going to be taking it out to the field, ripping it around, getting crash test Carl's impressions, Grumpy Trev's impressions, hitting it with the speed gun, and then possibly hitting crash test Carl with it, because I know you guys want to see his battle against this with the riot shield, all those sort of shenanigans. And a massive shout out to my Patreon supporters too, because look, now that I'm full time, I couldn't make all this content without your support. So what I've got from one of you supporters this month, we're going to be throwing this in the prize pool. I've got another Hummingbird right here, ready to rock and roll, still sealed in its packet. We're going to be sending out one of those to one of my fantastic Patreon supporters, so thank you so much. For everybody else, let's kick it off. Let's get started with the review and check out the geprc Hummingbird. I think I just stabbed myself on that prop actually. They're pretty sharp. Anyway, let's do it. Alrighty, so here it is on the bench, the little Hummingbird itself, the little micro brushless FPV racer from geprc. And overall, look, the first thing I want to do, let's stick this thing on the scales because it is absolutely minuscule, but don't let that fool you, it is absolutely feature packed as well. So let me get my scales out. I've got them right here. Oh, and one little thing too, I should mention, I did change the plug on the end. So it came with just your normal, one of these little bad boys. I swapped that out because this was one of the spares it came with, so I swapped mine out. Anyway, so I put it on there. It's coming in at 83 grams, so very, very light indeed. If you're in one of those countries where you need a certain weight limit, something like this is going to be perfect. Now, just because this thing is small, don't let it fool you. It's not designed for indoors or anything like that, because this, you know, we'll show you some footage out in the field, and Trevor and I have a bit of a discussion, and we've actually already flown this little spoiler right there. This thing absolutely rips, and it's not going to be made. If you're trying to fly this thing indoors, make sure you've got a very big space. Now, what we should do, let's quickly rattle off some of the components in here, and then the good stuff I want to get out. I want to fly around and show you just how much fun this thing can be. So what we have on the outside, these are some of the GemFan 20, I think that's the 2030s, 2040 props right there, are very, very sharp, so be careful of those, but they do slice through the air quite nicely. I ran mine on a 3S battery, but these are 1106 6000 kV motors, so it absolutely screams. And something I should really mention too, when you get down to this sort of small prop size, any smaller than this for brushless, I don't really recommend. I reckon like 2 inches is about as small as I want to go when it comes to brushless, but at the moment it had plenty of power when it was zipping around. It was just right in the last bit of the throttle where I guess it felt a little bit unruly, I guess, in terms of some of those hard flips or something like that. Now, if we jump in and have a look at the ESCs and the goods and all the bits in the middle, what we've got one of the little geprc F4 towers, and essentially what that means, we've got a 12 amp ESC 4-in-1 in the middle, rockin' D-shot of course. We've got an F4 flight controller with a Betaflight OSD, and then on top of that, we've got our little changeable channel VTX, change the powers, all that sort of stuff. You can see what I do like too, you can press the button nice and easy on the top, but you do need to check the LEDs at the back because they flash different colors, all that sort of jazz. Go and check the manual out because it can be very frustrating trying to figure out what channel you're on if you're not familiar with it. So I don't really like that LED display, but honestly, if you're not changing channels too much, no real biggie there. You just simply change it by pressing the button. It can rock like, I think it's 25, 100 or 200 milliwatts. And then on the front, one of the stars of the show, check this out, we've got our run cam, Micro Swift 2, and look at that camera protection. Honestly, for this quad has better camera protection than some of the bigger brother 5-inch racers out there. This thing, you're going to be very unlucky if you break that. Check that out. Now if I flip it over, you can see you get this little velcro strap. I don't really like these straps, but you do get this nice little sort of sticky pad on the bottom, and it's worth mentioning it's one solid base plate. It's 3mm carbon, and I don't think you're going to be breaking it because it's so light. You're going to have to get pretty unlucky. It doesn't have much momentum or much inertia when it's hitting the ground. It just bounces off things and keeps going, and you're going to see that because maybe we might crash into Cal at full speed when we're doing the speed run. Was it an accident? Well, I'll let you guys decide that at the end of the video. And then you've got some LEDs on the back. I do like mine came with a little bind and fly version, so it's got my XM Plus in the back right there. Bind straight up to my Tyrannus, was very, very easy. You've got a little dipolar antenna, and I do like these antenna mounts as well, so that part's pretty cool. And then like I mentioned, the only mod that I did to mine was I switched out and put this XT30 on it, and that actually came with it, so you didn't need to worry. You don't need to source that. You've got a nice little extra connector that comes with it. So I like that GeprC's thinking about that part. Now, of course, this thing can't carry a GoPro or anything like that, so don't be expecting that. Now, I guess as far as the design goes, I really like it because look, it's got good components. I like how it protects the camera, and it's about as small as you can go while still being really, really reliable with brushless motors. So the 2-inch, I think for a 2-inch, it's pretty much just like a big 5-inch racer, shrunk down. The design's pretty good. The quality, I'm going to give the quality like a 9 out of 10 because the components are top quality, and also the soldering joints and all that stuff in here, it's made very, very nicely. So it's definitely a lot better than some of the cheaper ones out there. I don't think you're going to have as many quality control issues with something like the Hummingbird. I think it's going to be pretty good to go straight out of the box. Now, the pros and cons. Well, can't carry a GoPro, so don't be expecting that. It is only a 2-inch, so you're going to get some strange handling right, you know, when you're doing some hard flips and things like that, right at the full throttle, especially if you've got a bigger battery on there. And then the other con, well, I guess it's not going to be going some flat out insanity speed or something like that. We'll have to hit it with the speed gun and see just how fast it's going to go, but it's not going to be comparable to some of your 5-inch, 4-inch racers out there. Now, the pros though, look, it's going to be a lot of fun. The batteries are cheap. It's not going to break much. You can fit it anywhere, and you can fly this thing in a lot of places. Maybe on your lunch break, take it out, whip it in your lunchbox, then you're ready to rock and roll. You can pull it out of your car, you're ready to go fly anywhere. So I think for those people, or maybe the weight as well, you know, it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you can't fly in some of those places where you've got some restrictions, something like this, well, this might be toy size, but it has anything but toy performance. It goes very, very quick. Anyway, that's enough of the boring stuff out of the way. Let's jump into the field, rip it around, and have some fun with the Hummingbird and show you just how much fun you can have with a little 2-inch racer. Let's cut out to the field in 3, 2, 1.
Let's rip it around with the little humming.
Take 5.
Yep. Rightio, out here in the field, about to rip it around with the little Hummingbird. I'm pretty excited. We'll show you guys some DVR. We'll hand it over to the grumpy man himself, and then we'll hit crash test Cal with it, and also get him on there with some impressions with the speed gun and find out just how much fun this little 2-inch micro brushless FPV racer can really be. All right, let's do it and jump into some DVR. Alrighty, Stuart, we're back at a different track again, yes, but we're still with the Hummingbird, because for anybody who noticed what was on my head, it was the Sky Zones. I was testing them out all day, and that's what I originally flew the Hummingbird with, but of course, that thing, it doesn't record the DVR if you don't press stop. I whinged about it in Monday's video, so we had to go out again, and I flew the Hummingbird a little bit later, a little bit, I guess, the next day. Anyway, back on, let's get on with the flight characteristics, and, you know, you'd be mistaken if you didn't think this thing, you know, it's a 2-inch. It absolutely screams. So when you're putting down the throttle, I mean, look at this. You've got to remember how small this thing actually is. And this thing is absolutely ripping around. I mean, look, it's no 5-inch or anything like that, but the size of the actual prop and how much thrust it makes, it's crazy how fast this little thing can go. And it really does. The best way to describe it, like we're doing some over and unders and that sort of stuff. You don't have any momentum, so you can't really throw yourself over something. But it really feels like a 5-inch racer just shrunk down, and it's still got plenty of speed, and we hit it with the speed gun, and we have a whole bunch of fun, and we might crash into Cal, but it still feels amazing in the air. Now, if I did have one complaint with this thing, well, it only takes 3S as well. I want you to remember that this thing is zipping around on 3S, but when you go and do some hard acrobatics, oh, this was pretty lucky too. I thought I'd go just zip through there. I probably wouldn't do that with any bigger racers, but for a little 2-inch, it feels very, very safe flying this thing around. I don't think you're going to be hurting anybody, and it shouldn't be intimidating anybody or anything like that. But what I am going to say, when you're doing some hard acrobatics, so some soft acrobatics like that, you know, where their flips aren't really, really, I guess, aggressive, it feels totally fine. But if you go up and you do some really aggressive flips and hard rolls, you're going to get some bobble, you know, where it sort of rocks back and forth. And look, we might be able to tune that out with a little bit of PID tuning. That's probably my only complaint. When you're flying this around, if you want to do some hardcore flips and rolls and flippy floppies all over the place, well, you're going to notice that it doesn't look quite as smooth. Now, I think this is perfect for anybody. Look, you might not have very much space to fly around. You still want a great FPV experience. So let me tell you, you know, the great thing about this thing is, look, there's one of those hard flips. You can see it had a little bit of bobble in it. So I guess that's what I was talking about. But this is perfect for anybody. You might have a bigger racer already, or you might just have a small space that you can fly around, but you still want a great FPV experience. And probably one of the best things about this is it's cheap when you consider how much the batteries are as well. Like this is just on a 500 little crash there, and it did recover quite well. You know, the batteries for this thing, they're only 500 milliamp hours 3S batteries, so they're very, very cheap as well. You know, so if you just get a couple of batteries, you're going to have flight times for days. But overall, I am very, very impressed with this
this thing. Now here we do a power loop, and just to show you just how much power, it punched up way higher than I thought it was going to. And then we have a pretty cool landing, I think, here in a minute. Also a little stack as well, so we're going along, you can see it zips very quickly, clip the tree, and then right here, little crash into the grass, and I thought, well, time to come in and land. I'll do a few more little acro moves, and this was a pretty good landing if I don't say so myself. Now, I don't think I'm a very good pilot when it comes to landing, but this one, you know, Trevor said some swear words when he saw this one, so pop, stuck it right in the bag. So I was pretty happy with that one.
Rightio, that was a heap of fun, but I'm not going to say too much in front of the grumpy man himself. So we're going to hand over the Hummingbird to GT and get some impressions. So it's pretty much ready to rock and roll. I haven't plugged it in, but what do you think of the geprc Hummingbird so far?
Well,
what did it look like when I was zipping it around?
it looked really good. It looked fast. Looked really zippy. The package itself looks really nice. It's well put together. Plenty of protection for the camera. Someone's thinking of it, listening to us. That's good. Look at that. You're not going to smash that. Well, it'd be pretty hard if you did. That's really neat. Room to move in there, not like some of the others we've seen. Geez, that's nice little. I like the little etching on the tops. Very clever. Let's give it a spin. It looks really nice. I want to fly this.
And they're 2-inch props as well, so absolutely tiny props, even smaller than the 3 inches that we've been looking at a bit lately.
This looks like it's going to be fun to fly.
Do you reckon that'd be good indoors by how you saw it go?
Well, these ones that are fast, you can also fly them slow, so it'd be interesting to see how it would go.
Okay, we'll see what you think after you fly it. All right, let's do it. Alrighty, GT, ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, I got to choose the other model. Maybe, do I? Amit, what model are we on? Oh, switch warning. There we go.
So far, the props are spinning. That's a good sign. Oh, it's got plenty of punch. Good camera. Really like the camera. Smooth, no oscillations. Very clean video. Jeez, it's fast for 2-inch. Okay, this is too fast for the pit.
I thought you'd say that, yeah. When you said you might be able to fly it around indoors, I was biting my tongue. I think it's too fast for indoors for sure.
Responsive. It's nice. I've got a really soft spot for 2-inch.
Yep.
This is fanging. I reckon this is as fast as the 5-inch nearly.
Nah, it's not that fast, but it does feel fast.
Yeah, around the track it feels fast. Oh, look, this is pretty cool. I like it. Very smooth. Locked in the box. Out of the box, you should say.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it's very responsive. Probably one of the best 2-inches we've seen for quite a while. He's just so smooth. I'm very impressed. Good to actually get some good quads for a change. I mean, we've had some lately, but...
What are you thinking of?
Oh, the fire dancer bloody thing.
Well, this isn't from them. This isn't from a different company. This is
from
geprc.
Yeah, it's really nice. Look at that, hitting those gates easy.
Who would you recommend this one to?
I think battery just went flat.
Do you remember where you crashed that quad?
Yeah, just over there.
Because I heard it over there.
Oh, did you? Oh, damn.
All right.
I was hoping you'd go that way. No, it's just in front of us.
All right. I'm going to go get it, then I'm going to bring it back. Oh, you had me worried. Did you have any idea it was over here? No, you didn't.
I was hoping you go down there and get it, because it's big enough to fit in my pockets, Stu.
All right, so let's finish the review here. So what did you think?
Oh, it's
final impressions.
I really liked it.
Yep.
That battery is quite warm, so
I've
been given a bit of stick. So yeah, look, I reckon anyone could fly one of these. It wasn't hard to fly. I'd probably like a bigger C battery, but
that's what do we got? That's C battery. Oh yeah, that's only 30C.
Yeah, that was doing okay. That battery is a bit warm.
Yep.
You probably want at least 60 for these.
Yep.
Oh look, I like it. It's
alrighty. So I guess give that a Grumpy Trev rating out of 10 for performance.
Performance. Look, I reckon
for a
that's
2-inch.
For a 2-inch, that was an 8 for sure.
Yep.
And
what about value for money? I guess.
Oh, look, value for money. It's about an 8 as well, because it's about $200 AU, I think. Which is, I don't think it's too much for one of these things, because it does rock. It's a very strong-looking thing, and you can see they've put all the good bits in there, so you're not getting junk.
Are those motors warm or anything like that?
Nah, they're not even lukewarm. They just did it easy, and this thing had power to burn, I reckon.
Nice. Let's go give it over to Cal. Rightio, Cal, so you're about to fly around the Hummingbird. You're a bit partial to some of these smaller ones.
Yeah, but when you get into 2-inch, things
not as much.
Tend to be a little more unreliable. I kind of turned away from these 2-inch, outdoor 2-inch models.
Plug it in, we'll take off. Alrighty.
Well, just to get to a hover, I guess about 20 to 30%, which isn't too bad.
Yep.
Well, that was a bit lackluster.
That's probably the battery. Do you want to bring it in? We'll put a better battery on. All right, Cal.
not too bad.
Yep. How does that feel?
Some good power for a little 2-inch, there's no doubt about that. But there's something that's unstable about it. I don't know what it is. It's when I'm doing hard flips and rolls, it's something's a little amiss. I'm not sure if that would be improved with PIDs or if it's something else. What I always look for when I'm flying these 2 inches is to see how much throttle you need to get them off the ground and how much throttle you need to pull them up out of a dive. You need a bit of reserve throttle, I think, to have a lot of fun with any kind of outdoor acro but you know, it's just got this little kind of twitch in it at the moment. If we can find a way to get that out, it's going to be a very good smooth flyer. For a little 3S, it's performing pretty good. You know, live in a city and you've only got some small city park that you can jam around, I'd say something like this could be good. You know, it's not going to cause too much damage if it ever goes out of control and hits something. It's light and benign, and because of it's so small, people will just assume it's a toy and not be too phased by it all anyway. So if you're in a big city and you've got nothing but small city parks to fly in, well, this could be a good choice.
All right, well, give me Cal's famous 4 words. 4 words to sum this quad up. Is it stable? Is it stable?
Yeah, it's only in the top 5% of the throttle range that it becomes a little unstable, and that's when you're doing pretty intense maneuvers. But like I said, I think we can engineer that out of it.
Yep.
But
all right, so is this your 4 words?
Yeah.
All right, go.
A good little quad.
A good little quad. Oh, it's well done. You got 4 of them. Congratulations. Alrighty, I'll let you finish that pack, and then we'll hit it with the speed gun.
Alrighty. It's it's quite a nice looking little frame. It looks like a good quality frame. The components look good. The motors look very nice. They feel nice. Just in the hand, it looks great. Even the standoffs, the stippled standoffs, which is a nice touch. Nice thick frame.
Is that what you call it, stippled?
Yeah.
Alright, look, I even learned something today. Cal has lots of words, not just 4.
I love the way they've put this little TPU block on the back there to handle your antennas and manage them. That's a great touch.
Yep. And also your LEDs flash through that too. So
really?
Yeah, disperses the light there.
Good little quad. Just got to mess around with the PIDs a bit, I guess.
Nice. Thanks, Cal. All right, you two comedians. So the Hummingbird, look, Trevor's already thinking of a 1-line joke you can throw in here. How fast do you think this is going to go? Miles per hour, no ranges, 1 double-digit number. How fast? Who's going to go first? Cal?
65.
65. Trev?
Oh, I'm going for 75.
Okay, and then I'll go right in the middle, 70. All right, what's the winner get?
The quad.
Okay, all right. I don't like that, but let's do it. Do we need to notify your next of kin?
Yeah.
Or what do you want? What are some last words?
It was Stu's fault.
Okay.
He killed me.
All right. Let's do it.
And I'm going to haunt you too.
All right. Yeah, so maybe if you stand here, Cal.
Yeah, that way we'll be able to see the blood easier.
You can be render first aid attention quicker.
I'm not going to give you mouth to mouth.
Guys, I just don't know how I feel about these little 2-inch quads. You've really got to give it 100% power, otherwise you're going to slam the ground. Look, you're not going to get the perfect all-rounder in 2-inch, but it is probably one of the best, if not the best, 2-inch outdoor quad that I've encountered. Shut up, Trev. All right, let's get it on. This little thing is small, so it means it's got better penetration, so it could really go right through my spine. 67. That's not a bad effort. 67 on the first run, so it goes quicker than I thought. All right, we're running a heavier battery this time. It's an 850 milliwatt 3S. 65. That's 100 kilometers per hour. 65 mile an hour, good effort. Actually, it's a little bit faster than 100 k's, isn't it? It does sound like a little jet engine ripping around. 70. You caught me by surprise then, but we got it. I'm just going to smash that to Kingdom Come if it comes near me, I'm telling you. So far we got 70, it looks like... Oh, oh, come on, you just don't trust him, folks. I think he's going to dive bomb me like a magpie. I've got to be prepared. Oh, what's he doing? What's he doing? Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Ooh, this is a ferocious little angry bee. Come on, come on.
Ready, Cal?
undisputed lightweight champ of the quad world.
What have you done, Cal?
I decimated it. It messed with me and it paid the consequences. And that's what's going to happen to every quad.
Face the wrath of Cal. It's got a bent prop. It lost the battery. Where were they? Oh, here it is. The battery's here. So, you tell it what you think of it, Cal.
Well, that's what happens when you mess with the big boys. And that's what's going to happen to every quad that messes with me hereafter.
First of all, how did you pull up, Cal? You're okay?
Yeah.
Trevor made me do that. I was had no obligation. I said no, and Trevor said yes.
I haven't come to expect it at all. Don't worry.
All right, so we bent that little prop there, but you're okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
There's no mark on the shield.
No.
I don't even know where it hit. Somewhere.
What about Cal? Don't worry about the shield.
Cal said he's good, and looks like this thing held up pretty well actually. So I don't know. It's probably something about being so light. It doesn't have much mass that it's just going to bounce off. So yeah.
You know, it's hard to tell who enjoyed that more, Stu or.
All right, thanks, Cal.
Alrighty.
Oh, by the way, I win that, right? 70 miles per hour. That's what I said.
Oh, it's rigged.
So yeah. I purposely held back. Yeah, I've got to get that 70.
The first and the last time.
All right. Thanks.
Rightio, so there it is. There's my review of the little Hummingbird from geprc, and for a 2-inch racer, this thing absolutely rocks. Now look, when the original Lizard 95 came out, that thing had 2-inch props. I was blown away because I'd never seen anything like it, even though it was a bit unruly. Pretty crazy in the air. This thing, it just feels like a 5-inch racer. It's very, very stable, and it's got power to boot. So they've really refined it in this 2-inch category. I think really at the high end of the throttle, that's where you do get some bobble, and I don't know if that's some of those weights or some of those things, but I guess when it's sort of flipping over, you do notice a bit of bobble back like you saw in the DVR. But overall, it is a really, really fun little racer. I think this is going to be perfect. Put it in your lunchbox, you can take it out, rip it around, get some FPV action no matter where you are, as long as you've got a little space, a little bit of space. I mean, it's not going to be perfect for indoors or anything like that because this thing, unless you're in a warehouse, just has way too much power to boot. But overall, I'm a massive fan of this. I think a lot of people are going to be having fun with it. And remember, a massive shout out to my Patreon supporters because look, I couldn't do what I do on the channel without you. So I've got one here to give away to my Patreon supporters, one of these Hummingbirds. So definitely a massive thanks to you guys. I'm going to say too, if you're a Patreon supporter, there's also a Discord server link down below with a special Patreon only channel where I jump in and chat to you guys a little bit extra as well. So go check that link out down below. For everybody else, subscribe for more FPV related content and share some love for Crash Test Cal. What did you think about him battling this? And look, he was in on this. I wasn't trying to hurt him. It was all in good fun. He was well aware of what was going to happen. Subscribe for more FPV related content, and as always, happy flying. Alrighty, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel and check out these videos. And I'm also going to leave a little link here to my Patreon page because I've got some fantastic Patreon supporters and I like to give back to them as well. So if you want to join the UAVfutures family, there's things like bonus velcro straps, little bundles of FPV goodies and things like that that also get sent out. Anyway, happy flying.